1956, micro midget racing was starting to catch on in the United States. 7 local men, and one of them including my father, each donated $25 to start our local track, and it was licensed by the state of Illinois as a nonprofit organization in 1956 and has raced continuously since then, making it the oldest micro track in the United States.
For over 6 decades, the Coles County Speedway has been a racing venue for micro midget racing, or what is now called micro sprint racing. Within its first 5 years of existence, the track changed locations several times.
The first track was located just west of Charleston on Old Route 16 at my father's livestock auction facility. I believe they ran there for about a year and a half, and then they decided they needed a more permanent location. So then the track moved approximately 2 miles east of town on the Popham farm, and they raced there for 2 to 3 years until the club had enough money of their own. They bought 10 acres of land located about halfway between Mattoon and Charleston. I believe that was in 1960, and the track was ready to go in 1961.
Once it settled into its current location on Route 316 between Charleston and Mattoon, Illinois, the track started out as a dirt track, but in 1963 changed to asphalt and remained the racing surface till 1985, when it changed back to racing on dirt.
Asphalt was becoming popular in the 1960s. You could put the asphalt down, it'd last for several years. Didn't have to water it and grade it every week. But then some people got tired of racing on asphalt. They thought the dirt was more exciting. So a lot of the tracks were needing repaved by the 1980s. A lot of the tracks couldn't afford to repave their tracks, so that's when a decision was made on most of them to take the asphalt up and to go back to the dirt. Here's a photo of my father's first car, built in 1956. Harvey Brown, who helped build the car with my father, is seated in the car in this photo. The car is right now at Knoxville, Iowa, in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, and being the first micro midget ever in the museum.
Jeff Horn of Charleston is currently the vice president of the Coles County Speedway. Horn followed his father's footsteps and was a micro sprint racer from 1976 to 2000. Horn enjoyed much success in his first few years of racing.
I was the 1976 Illinois State Champion, and we won several races over in Logansport, Indiana, and I was fortunate enough to get to go to Carlsbad, New Mexico for the internationals, they were called at that time. Didn't win anything out there, but got to run in what was the biggest race of the 1970s.
In addition to Horn's success, a few other racers who started racing at the Coles County Speedway went on to enjoy successes of their own.
Larry Rice from Indiana raced here in 1967, and in the early 70s he made it to the Indy 500 and was the 500 Rookie of the Year. And then our latest driver that has done really well is Levi Jones from Albany, Illinois. He raced with us in the mid-90s, and he has went on to become a 3-time USAC Sprint Car champion, and he currently races for Tony Stewart.
The track hosts races from the first Saturday in May through the last Saturday in September. On average, 50 or more racing teams come out on a given Saturday to the Coles County Speedway, and they participate in heat races, which are 10 laps long, trophy dash races that are 6 laps long, and the feature races that have between 20 to 30 laps, depending on the racing classification. Upwards of 40 track workers or volunteers help out to make the whole racing day go smoothly.
We've got 6 on the infield. We have 3 EMTs. We've got 6 in the tower for scoring and lineups. We've got people at scales. We have people that are lining the cars actually up. We've got people at the pit board. We've just got people everywhere. When you put 20 cars out there, that's a lot of cars in a small little area. And we just got transponders for the first time this year. That was a huge upgrade for us. And now we can see the speed that they're going. And they're going about 45 miles an hour out there, so that's a lot when you look at how small that little area is.
It started out as a 1/8 mile, and we did stretch it out a few years ago I believe it's about 1,200 feet around the track on the pole.
The track has held the Micro Sprint National Championships 4 times, in 1961, 1967, 1988, and most recently in 2006.
1988, we had the Nationals here. We had 228 cars. We had drivers from California, Pennsylvania, Texas, probably I think about 28 states is where they were from for that race.
Racers from ages 6 to 60 can be found at the track. Paul Day from Atwood, Illinois, has been racing since 1991 and has raced at the Coles County Speedway countless times.
A lot of us can go anywhere and run and be in the top. Really, to be a good competitive racer, this is the track to come and do it. You can go anywhere and pretty much be in the top 5. It's just a good all-around competitive place, good concession stand, just a good atmosphere. It's a fun place to be.
And he is not the only one in his household that races. His 2 kids, Molly and Tyler, also put the pedal to the metal.
Every time it's enjoyable, and I go home on a Sunday and I kick back, and even tonight I'll go out there and I'll watch, and I usually get a big smile on my face when they're out there, as I know they're having such a good time and a blast.
For Jeff Horn, he has seen the track from the beginning with his dad, a former Micro Sprint racer and founding member of the Coles County Speedway. Horn, in his 35th year affiliated with the track, has passed the family racing gene to his son Cordy, who has been racing since 2005. For Mary Ellen Harris, who has been with the track for 20 years, every Saturday at the Coles County Speedway is a chance to be with those she cares about the most.
I've met a lot of friends, and they're like family to me. A good thing that I always felt about it was something that my son and I could do together, and I knew where he was on Saturdays. And years ago in the past, it was something that we traveled with and would go and be a family with it. It's a very warm feeling to come out here with the people that I love.
I've been to numerous micro tracks in the United States, and when somebody, it seems like, finds out you're from Coles County, Charleston, Illinois, Mattoon area, that you'll hear them say, oh, my dad raced there in the 60s, or I was there in the 70s, you know, or my uncle raced there. It seems like everybody you run into has heard of Coles County Speedway or has been there at some time.
The best thing are the fans. The fans love when they can see a guy go up around the top side and just blow people off the bottom. And this track, when the top's in, it's fun for the fans and fun for the driver.
It's just fun. There's not a whole lot of words to describe it other than fun, laid back, and you know, you feel like you can just be yourself here.
This final